Hello, my students. How are you doing today? So in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys how to create nodes professionally in robot structure analysis professional. The version that I'm using, it doesn't matter which kind of version I'm using, but the version that I'm using is 2024 version of this software, right? So, but all the software, by the way, is almost the same, right? So to create nodes, we have two methods, right? But before you start creating, uh, try to create a new create a new project, right? But the one that I'm using right now is new, right? So as you can see, it's still new, so I don't need to create any project. And then try to modify the units. By modifying the units, click here in this point here, click here only once, it's enough, right? And after clicking, there's a table that are gonna pump out, right? Here you can modify the units according to your projects, right? So first of all, you select dimension. Like to modify the units, you select the dimension, select it, and all right, you can change the structure dimension, the section dimension, the section properties, units. All of these about units, right? You can modify here. You can take centimeter, feet, inch, and it depends. I mean, you can just modify according to your project. Like what I'm saying, like if you modify structure, let me give an example. If you modify structure dimension, units in feet, the section dimension here supposed to be in inch, right? Or feet. So this supposed to be like adjust, right? And don't put centimeter. They're supposed to be uniform. They need to be uniform, right? Okay. So modify according to your project, right? And the force also is the same method. Just select the forces and click here and change the units according to your project, as I said, right? So this is how you can modify the units, but I'm gonna keep my unit standard because I modified it already. So so this is the first step. And the next step is to create the nodes. So what is node, first of all? The nodes can be defined as a point in structural model where two or more structure member meet each other or intercept, all right? Okay, so the first method, go to the menu, go to geometry here, go to node, all right? And as you can see, there's a node table that's gonna pump out here. You can see the number of the node and the coordinates. So the number means this node is the first node. So here on this table, we don't have any nodes. So if I press apply, if I press add, this node's gonna be the first one here. The coordinates is where you have to press where you have to place the nodes, right? And the unit, this is the units of the location where you can place the nodes. As you can see, okay, let me use my mouse and scroll down here. Let me show. Yeah, let me navigate on the screen here. As long as I'm navigating, as you can see, the axis coordinates is changing, right? Like here, as you can see, become 20. Y direction become 20. And if I go to the x direction, right, in opposite direction here, as you can see, it's increasing, right? It's increasing. And if I'm going to different position here, it's decreasing, right? So if I press, I create a node already. So if you press your mouse, you create a node already, right? Or you can just put add here. So these are our first nodes. So the second, if you press another one, it's gonna be the second nodes. And if you press, this can be the third node. And if I press again, it's gonna be the fourth node that I'm creating, right? So this method is not that professional. Like if you have a huge project to do, right? It's require you a lot of nodes. So if you have a lot of members, like a tall building, maybe 6 floors, like 16 floors, or yeah, maybe 20 floors. So it's gonna be a lot of work for you. It's gonna be a waste time for you to use this method, right? So I'm gonna close this, right? And then I'm gonna select all of them, and then I'm gonna delete everything, right? So deleting is you select everything by using the mouse, and then after selecting, you can just press delete on your keyboard, right? And the second method is more required, so it's more professional. Like we have to create the axis definition. Like you come here, you axis definition, you press, all right? So axis direction, so we need to define the orientation of the coordinates in x direction, in y direction, and z direction, right? And also can define the global and the local axis, right? So here, as you can see, this is the structure axis, right? In x direction and y direction and z the direction, you have to define the position. You have to define the number of the times that you have to repeat. You have to repeat what it is, the x direction coordinates, and also we have to indicate the distance, right? So here the number of repeats, I'm gonna just take two times, and the distance I'm gonna take 4 feet, and then I'm gonna come to numbering. I'm gonna use the first type 1 2 2, the numbering. I'm gonna put add. So this for I'm gonna press add. So as you can see, we still have an extra coordinates coming here. I'm gonna delete it. Just make sure that it's selected already. Number 3 only, number 3, and then go here to delete, and then it's deleted already, right? So this is all about x direction. So for the y direction, press y. Make sure y is selected. Come here. Take 2 times, and distance also I'm gonna take let's take 6. Let's take 6 here, and let me take maybe 3 here, and then for the numbering I can take the alphabet ABC, and then I can add, right? As you can see here, I just take I only take 3 times, but there's another extra coordinates coming in. I'm gonna delete it. I don't want it, right? And for the z direction, also is the same. I can start on the numbering. I'm gonna take value and number of to repeat. How much I'm gonna repeat it? How many times I'm gonna repeat it? So 3 times also, and I'm gonna take 6 feet, right? And I'm gonna add it, right? So as you can see here, there's nothing has been added. Oh, we have here. So by here it's okay. We don't need to delete it, right? But if once you can delete it, but it's okay here. I know what I'm gonna explain it later. The position here, there's an added position here, but it doesn't really matter here, because as you can see, the base is 600 and the story 1. So it's gonna be 10, and the position it's gonna be 10 feet, right? So it's 6, 12. As you can see, 6. And then another 6 is 12, and then another 6 is 18, right? So it's 3 times, right? So don't delete anything here, right? So after here, everything has been defined: x direction, y direction, and z direction. So all the axis has been defined. So you can just go to apply. So after applying, you can just close it. You just close it, right? So let's go to the floor. As you can see here, our base, as I said, is 0 feet. The structure axis is 6 feet. The first one, the first story. Okay, this I'm gonna explain later. Don't get confused. So the structure axis is 12, and the third one is 18, right? So this is the coordinate, the orientation of the coordinates. So to create the member, because I said that is a points in structural model where 2 or more structural member meets and intercept, right? So to create structure, so for the structure, by structural member, I mean beam and column, right? And floor, so we have a lot of times, right? We have a lot of type of members, right? But here, we can talk, first of all, we can talk about the basic one, we can talk about the column, right? So how to put the column? Just press on the column here, press, right? And you can modify I'm gonna show the next video is I will show you how to modify the column according to your project. And so I ain't gonna modify anything. I'm gonna take the initial given here. I'm gonna just press, you see intersection here, you see the line here, intersection here. I'm gonna press here and don't close anything, and then press here also, and press in here, and press in here, and press in here, or the intersection here. So I create the column already. I can just close it. I can just close. So I created the columns already. And to see how the columns look like, I can just change the view. Go to the view instead of plan. I can go to view, and yeah, this is how the column looks like. Let me zoom a little bit for you guys. Let me zoom a little bit for you. Okay. Yeah, so this is how the columns look like. So the triangle shape here is called support, the support of the column, right? And if you don't want it to be shown, you can just press in here, support symbols. You can just press once, it's appear. But for me, I want it to be shown, so I'm gonna leave it the way it was. And to see the dimension of the section of our members, we can just press in here, section shape, and you can see this is how the shape looks like, right? We use steel design, right? But I'm gonna show, as I say, I'm gonna show to modify it, right? So I don't want it to be shown, right? So I'm gonna go to the plan again, the plan structure, and here I'm gonna use the beam now. Press on beam. Also, we have to modify the beam according to your project. But here I'm gonna modify anything. Next video I'm gonna show to modify. So I'm gonna link the first column and the second column, all right? And the first here and the second here, and the first here and the second here, right? And here and here and here and here and here, here and here and here. So I create the frame already. So this is how our frame looks like, right? So if you wanna see how the frame looks like, you can change the view. So this is how our frame, let me close. So this is how our frame looks like. Right, this is how our frame looks like. So I create the nodes. So how many nodes I create? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? So this is how I create nodes professionally without putting the point. And here it's hard for you to get confused. Sometimes the coordinates of if you're using the first method, you don't know where they're not supposed to be placed, right? You're gonna miss where it is, the shape of your building. Your building gonna be unshaped, right? And it's supposed to be symmetric, but here it ain't gonna be symmetrical because the line of the nodes, the dimension of the orientation of the load is not well placed, right? So this method is more better than the previous one. Okay, so I'll see in the next one, and we're gonna set our project in after a couple of videos. So first of all, you have to understand the basic, and then I'm gonna see the next one. Bye bye.